Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Gooch, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit special on the show. So, welcome to the Cobra Report. Just a reminder to please like and subscribe to my channel for more G.I. Joe Classified content and other action figure unboxing. We've got a couple months until the next release of G.I. Joes. They're almost certainly going to drop a figure or pre-order or two in February, but until then, there's really not much going on. So I thought, let's take a look at Operation Monster Force. Similar figures to the G.I. Joe Classified line, only with a bit of a sci-fi horror vibe to them. So first up, we've got Dr. Calugari. I think that's how you pronounce it. Not really sure. So he is based on a 1920s silent horror movie that was something Dr. Caligari. I apologize. I don't know the entire thing, but the main thing was that Dr. Calugari, hard to say, could control people with his mind to do his bidding. So now we have the same doctor, only his brain is in a jar. So let's take a look at Dr. Calugari.
Operation Monster Force, Dr. Calugari.
All right, first up we have the box. So this is a lot different than the G.I. Joe Classified boxes, which I actually think this is the direction that Hasbro should go with their boxes. Remember, before the cartoon, there was the comic book. So why not, like the inside here, put in some of the comic, some of the background for the figure that you're doing. This would be a really interesting way for Hasbro to do the classified boxes. You'd have this great box art on the front. You still have your window packaging. You have your comic book with all the background. Now, not every single character is in the comic book, so you could make new comic strip explaining who that figure is. This makes you more interested in the figure, makes you want to buy it more. So you have this great box art on the front. Now on the back, again, this gives you the other figures in the wave. So it gives you something else to look forward to buying. Another thing that I think Hasbro fails at is that the back of the boxes for them are just kind of random. This gives you a nice synopsis of who the figure is, much like the file cards on the original, 3 3/4 inch figures. Gives a great picture of them, gives it the rest of the line in the bottom there for you to collect. And so it's just so many misses on Hasbro's part in comparison to this. And this is an independent toy store. And these figures aren't that much more expensive than the classified line. I think they're about $5 more on average, but you got to pay for shipping because this is not available on Amazon or anything. So when you factor in shipping, they're about $40. So I guess they are about $10 more than a classified figure. But I think just the packaging alone makes some of that extra cost worth it. So let's take them out. Let's have a look at the actual figure. All right, so since this is a G.I. Joe themed channel, I'm going to be comparing these figures with the G.I. Joe Classified figures, like what Classified could do better, what maybe they do better than these. So first off, all right, I got him out of the package, which was kind of a pain in the butt. So he, like so many of the Classified figures, comes with a whole bunch of alternate hands here. He's got what appears to be a briefcase. So take that out of there. And he's got just a small gun. Nothing special. Small gun. He does come with these little kind of blast effects things. Not entirely sure what they do. I'm going to have to consult the box. So I guess it's just lightning comes out. You can see there's a little peg. So it goes in, I'm guessing, into the gun. I'm not going to bother to take out the hands. I'm not going to switch them up. Not taking them out. It's just a mess. So I don't want to lose them. All right. So first off, comes with a stand. This is one of the things that I have been saying for a while that Hasbro has to start doing is start including their classified figures with stands. Now, most of them do stand really well on their own, but if you can give us the stands with the retro style, why can't you give us stands with the classified guys? They come with basically the exact same amount of load up. And this is a really nice stand. So it's got the Monster Force on there, Operation Monster Force, the pegs so you can put them on. Now, I do think it's kind of All right, and it says Dr. Calugari. So that's really cool because you can put him on display now, and people that don't know who he is can come in to look and see, boom, right there you go. Also, has this really nice backdrop. Now, this comes in the box as part of the box, but if you wanted to, you could just have him sitting there, on your shelf, bam, like that, with this really cool backdrop. So that's another thing that Hasbro fails at. They do kind of give you backgrounds. It's the red Cobra, the blue Joe, but wouldn't it be nicer if it had some kind of setting that was, went with the figure itself? All right, so again, we've got just this tiny little gun. We do have these blast effects for the gun. I'm not going to bother putting them in. I don't want to lose them. And then he's got his briefcase. Does the briefcase open? Looks like it does. Is there anything? Yes, it does. Oh, cool. All right. So it opens up and it's got these 2 canisters in here and whatever this is. So I'm not sure what the canisters are. I am new to Operation Monster Force, guys, so I apologize if I don't know all the lore. I don't even know if it actually is a comic book that these guys are associated with, so feel free to blast me in the comments for not knowing. I just thought they're cool figures, so I went and got some. Again, I am a huge fan of horror and sci-fi. So to me, these guys are just perfect for me. So I'm going to put that in here. All right. So let's take a look at the actual figure himself. First, we're going to, again, we just covered his accessories. Not a lot. The gun, the briefcase, a bunch of hands. I don't know how you guys feel with the hands. I personally would rather have more accessories than different hands because, how much do you're going to be changing these hands all the time? Probably not. Most of us pose them once, put it on the shelf, and that's it. Maybe a couple times, maybe once a year you'll switch it up. I actually am due to switch up the shelf, so it will be different probably next time you guys see. But okay, so we're going to take a look at the design. So again, this is 1920s Germany is what this is based off of. So this is, during World War I. So you do have these very German-looking outfits. Now, this is, pre-Hitler in 1920s, so you don't quite have the Nazi uniforms, but they are very similar to Nazi uniforms. So I just love this head. This is awesome. So it's just a brain in a jar. He doesn't have any face. He's got nothing. I don't know how well you can see that. I don't know if it's fading in or if it's focusing in or out. But that is some really cool sculpt there. It's just awesome. It's got all this intricate, nice little metal work on the inside, almost like steampunk kind of thing to it. So that is just amazing. Really great sculpt. Now, the head does move up and down, turns side to side, kind of a little bit. So not as much movement, not as much articulation, but the details on this guy is fantastic. So you can see this leather piece here does go over. It goes over what appears to be a sculpt under it. So it is a separate piece, this leather here. Same with this. So I guess if you wanted to, you could clip that off of there. I don't know why you would. So the long trench coat is one solid piece. It does have this belt attached to it, but the belt itself does appear to be a different piece, but it looks like it's glued on or it's just really hard. Some fasteners on there. You can see the stitching. Not quite as intricate with the stitching work and the detailing like the Classified is, but really good. There's this nice little thing on his belt buckle. I don't know if you can see that. I bite my nails, guys. I apologize. Don't make fun of my weird-ass fingernails. So, again, the multicolors, which is really cool. And then he's got the color on the sleeve. He's got this nice little whatever that thing is, armband with a cool little symbol on it for the monsters. The gauntlets. So his hands, he's got different colors on the knuckles. And then we're going to go and look down at his boots. Boots are just regular black boots, so not too much with that. You can kind of pull this up and you can see that they did. So there is a lot of texturizing on the actual legs itself here, as well as the knees, like right above the knees with the pants. So it's interesting that they did all that detail and then hit it. But I really like this. This is kind of cool. He's a doctor, so he should be wearing like kind of a doctor's thing. But this is really just a long leather jacket is what it is. So, all right, now let's talk articulation. So, one of the main things with the G.I. Joe Classified line is their points of articulation. And it does look like he has quite a significant amount of articulation. Very on par, yeah. So his shoulders move in a little bit. Now, this figure is really stiff, like unbelievably stiff. I can't bend this, and I'm a pretty strong dude. There we go. Finally got it to bend. Oh, that's gross. There's like some weird hair in there. So I can't get the elbow joint to bend on the back, but I did get it there. His wrists do move from side to side, but they do not move up and down. So really stiff joints here. Oh, wow. That is unbelievably hard to move. So this one I have the opposite problem where it bends there, but it doesn't do it at the other side. So either way, and they swivel at the bicep, just like your classified figures do. So he does twist at the waist, goes up and down. So there's a ton of movement on this guy, even despite the coat. Now, he does not have quite the... Oh, okay. So the foot moves from side to side. I'm having a hard time getting it to go up and down. But there we go. So up and down. So there's essentially the exact same amount of articulation on this figure as there is the classified line. So that's... this again is an independent company. They don't have the ability to mass produce these like Hasbro does. And again, they are more expensive, but the detail is just as nice. It's all there. I mean, the detail is all there. They give you a stand, which is much needed. And then again, sorry, as I reach off screen here, this box is amazing. Here's Mainframe, who I've yet to take out of there. Here, look at the... Okay, so the box is almost twice the size. And it does... Look at the back. Wouldn't you rather have, instead of all this nonsense down here, which you could probably put on the underside of it, wouldn't you rather have a synopsis of who the figure is? Doesn't that make you want to buy the guy more? And instead of these goofy little highlights that really do nothing, we could see his face through the packaging anyway, have, the next figures in the line that gets you excited about what you want to buy. Hasbro is just dropping the ball on so many design aspects, and they're going to tell you it's to keep the cost down or whatever. And maybe that's the case. I don't know. They have to pay licensing to use the G.I. Joe name. So just like Star Wars, that's why everything is crazy expensive. And I actually did read this. The reason why all the other lines are so expensive is because because Star Wars charges so much to use their name that the value isn't there, or the perceived value isn't there. So if you charge $30 for a Black Series Star Wars figure, you can't charge $20 for a G.I. Joe Classified figure that looks exactly the same, because people are going to say, hey, why are you ripping off with the Star Wars stuff, which doesn't come with any accessories or anything that the Classified does? So they make the Classified prices almost the same as Star Wars, if not the exact same, but they include a lot more, weaponry and other accessories to them to kind of compensate a little bit for that price hike. But that's why the Classified figures are as expensive as they are, because Star Wars is so expensive to have. So there you have it. But this is my first one. I do have a couple more of these guys, so leave a message in the comments if you want me to, do another video on one of these. This again I kind of flew through this one just because, one, I'm in my garage and it's freezing cold, and two, I don't have the level of excitement for these figures as I do G.I. Joe, because I didn't have them when I was a kid, and I don't know any of the backstory. But this guy right here is just so cool, so awesome, and he would fit in great with the Cobra ranks. So this is definitely something like an experiment that Dr. Mindbender did. So he's going to be chilling with Dr. Mindbender on the shelf. And then as soon as I get the other guys out, we're going to take a look at those, and we'll see what we can do with them. But this guy's a home run. I love him. I'm very glad that I went out and bought him. So I do recommend them. I highly recommend them. This is Operation Monster Force. I got this at Big Bad Toy Store, which you can get online. Again, You do have to pay for shipping with them, but I think $100 or more. I think it's $75 or more is free shipping. So if you buy a couple figures, you don't have to pay the shipping, so it's a little bit cheaper. So, all right, guys, what do you think? Leave a couple messages in the comments. Let me know. Should we do more reviews of these guys? Do you want to see some other action figure lines that we don't see a lot of? Because I'm willing to do it. I love the, 1/12 scale figures. There's just so much you can do with them. I think the amount of detail they do and the size is just about perfect. It's not too big, not too small. So there's just so much that you can do with these guys, and I love them. So if there's some other lines that are similar that you think you would like to see, drop me a line in the comments and I'll look into it, and maybe we will. In the meantime, Hasbro should have some new announcements for us in February, which means probably some new pre-orders, probably some more digital renders, and they usually, drop a surprise figure or two around that time too. So in a couple weeks, we should be looking at a couple new, some more news on the G.I. Joe Classified line, which I will then, do a video and update you guys on. In the meantime, I might do another one of these videos, but keep tuned in. I'm going to do some other stuff this month just to fill in the void. So, all right, guys, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.